The moon in Sagittarius is abundant, expansive, and confident. Through it, one experiences existence with a basic joyful disposition that provides a strong sense of breadth and freedom, allowing one to surrender to the movement of life with optimism and joy. The feeling that existence flows without obstacles, revealing its meaning and direction at every step, is the source of security that will accompany one's growth. It is only necessary to surrender to the river of life because it joyfully always finds its way to the sea. One would be tempted to say that, if it were not for the inevitable tendency of consciousness to identify with the fragmentary and to develop an imaginary refuge, dissociated from the rest of the energies of the system, there would be no better way to enter life than through this quality. The child born with the moon in Sagittarius tends to manifest a powerful vitality and usually finds sufficient stimuli around them to trust their movements and explorations, reinforcing their natural, joyful, and dynamic predisposition. In line with this, an effective environment is formed around them that allows them to surrender and expand, and that in turn trusts them, accompanying them from a distance and enabling their games and desires. Unlike other moons, the effective modality that materializes allows the child a lot of their own space, filling them with stimuli for their well-being and for exploring the world. Initially, the child will find very little interference with their desires and movements, but they will also not be abandoned to themselves. The way the stage of a moon in Sagittarius is constituted makes them feel very free, but at the same time, always guided and protected by someone who facilitates their games and learning, with minimal intervention. Hence, the sense of basic trust in interactions and an enthusiasm that discards the presence of limits on their desires becomes the emotional premise from which to experience existence. If we observe the configuration of the stage on other planes, we will generally find abundance, not necessarily economic and of means, but certainly effective. There will be a family predisposition to believe in the goodness of life, perhaps due to the strong influence of one of its members, whom the child perceived as very confident or of constant good humor. Also, this is actually more common, due to the existence of strong religious or ideological beliefs in the family, which have tinted all their childhood experiences with meaning and optimism. It is very rare for a person with the moon in Sagittarius to describe situations of lack and conflict when recounting the history of their early years. The impact of the family world on their formation usually imprints them with the feeling of having lived in the best of worlds, or, in any case, of not having been forced to face frustration and pain for a long time. In general, the latter, pain, frustration, and difficulties, appears as a condition inherent to adult life, to which one had to painfully adapt. The person will have to make an effort to be able to re-signify their childhood history and allow memories linked to conflict or difficulty to surface. Another visible trait is family trips. These have usually been important, and it is likely that some member of the family has traveled a lot or has been closely related to foreign countries for one reason or another. During the early years, a strong effectivization of travel is usually established in these people. By sharing the emotional spontaneity with which their loved ones travel, or at least with which they refer to foreign countries, the feeling is instilled in them that distant worlds are familiar and safe. This effective familiarity with the vastness of the world predisposes them to travel long distances and welcome everything that comes from other latitudes.